Okay, good evening, folks. Welcome to tonight's Camhurst Robots presentation. And as you can see on the screen, this is the ultimate solution to solving the global housing crisis. So what I want to do is I'm just going to have a quick look into our chat this evening and give everyone a shout out. We've got a great turnout tonight. We've got some big news to share at the end of tonight's presentation. So thank you everyone for jumping in the chat and letting me know where you're watching in from. We've got Manchester in the house, Ashton under Lyne in the house, Gran Canaria. We have UK, Paul in Dorset, Milton Keynes, Ireland, Devon, Mexico, Stoke-on-Trent, Norfolk. Thank you everyone for putting that in there. Okay, let's get on with it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a very quick intro video to give you a basic understanding of what this incredible project is all about, and I'll be back right after this.
The world is in a housing crisis. USA alone is short of 4 million houses. That is a $1.6 trillion untapped market. The traditional way of building is very slow, and the huge shortage of skilled labor makes the problem even worse. Camhurst 3D-CP. After more than 5 years and millions of dollars invested in research and development, R&D, we have developed the best 3D-CP robots in the world. Our 3D-CP robots can build a small house in 48 to 72 hours, the ultimate solution to the global housing shortage. Build more houses faster. With our 3D-CP and other technologies, we can build up to 20 to 30 times faster. For example, a 250-meter square house skeleton structure can be built in 48 to 72 hours. This means we can build more affordable homes, build cheaper, less workers are needed on site, no forms for concrete, no steel. We use faster hardening cement. Construction companies can save up to 35% on costs. Full training is provided for 3 people when someone buys a 3D-CP robot from Camhurst 3D-CP Limited. Greener and more eco-friendly. We do not use steel, iron or Portland cement during construction, and using geopolymer cement, we can produce houses that are up to 90% more eco-friendly. Because we do not use steel-supported walls or any other forms, upon completion of the project we have very little waste. Build more houses, make more profit, and solve the housing shortage in your city. Camhurst 3D-CP. For more information, contact the person who shared this video with you.
Okay, so after watching that quick intro video, folks, I'm sure you can see this is a serious crisis that affects each and every one of us, wherever you might be joining us from this evening. The whole world is facing a housing crisis, and that in turn creates a homelessness crisis. But what you might be wondering is, well, why does this concern me? Well, that was my initial thought when I first was shown this project. But when I realized that this is a crisis that is already affecting millions of first home buyers around the world, I really decided that I needed to take a serious look at this. Now, when you consider that the USA alone is short of 4 million houses, which is an untapped $1.6 trillion market, and then if you move up north to Canada, they're actually short of 5.8 million houses, which is an untapped $2 trillion market. I was on the call recently with some folks over in Jamaica who are very interested in talking about this technology that we're going to be sharing with you this evening. Would you believe that the Caribbean island of Jamaica has a housing deficit of 286,000 houses, which affects 10% of the population? So, serious action is required to overcome this crisis. Now, here's some interesting reports. The World Bank has announced that the global housing crisis could impact 1.6 billion people by the year 2025. UN Habitat, here's another report, says that the world needs to be building 96,000 new affordable homes every day just in order to house the estimated 3 billion people who will need access to adequate housing by 2030. And as I'm sure you've all felt, right, house prices globally have risen at their fastest rate for 40 years as demand has outstripped supply. And that's according to research from the financial services giant firm JP Morgan. And when you consider now, guys, right, 150 million people globally are living permanently homeless. I mean, that is just an absolutely shocking statistic in this day and age. So this is a report from a firm called Straits Research. Okay, so the global 3D printing construction market size was worth 1.094 billion back in 2021, but is expected to reach 585.84 billion by 2030. So what does that tell you? Okay, that tells you that this technology, 3D concrete printing, is about to go into rocket mode. Okay, it's about to explode. And we have an incredible technology right here, based here in the UK, that we're going to be sharing with as many people around the world as we possibly can. So, as we already heard in the intro video, the primary reasons for this global crisis is that there is a shortage of skilled labour and that the traditional way of building is just too slow. But we have a solution for both of these scenarios. So just as an example, here in the UK, you could be waiting for several months just to find a decent builder. And this is an issue all over the world. So Camhurst has opened its doors in order to solve this global issue. So after 6 years and millions of dollars already invested into research and development, Camhurst have built the most cutting-edge 3D printing robots in the market. And their aim is to become the world leader in this emerging technology. Now, on this slide, you can see our version 1 robot. Now, that is in our factory in Staley Bridge in Greater Manchester. I do believe this is the first 3D concrete printing robot that hit the UK soil. Now, this robot was a game changer when you compare it to other 3D printing robots out there already, but it is still a little bit too heavy for what we wanted to achieve. So we went back to the drawing boards, and the guys in the R&D team have now developed our version 2 robot, which has a lightweight aluminium frame and the flexibility to build all types of buildings. And we've already had many guests visit this facility since it was first acquired at the end of 2024. And I highly recommend, folks, that you take time out to go and visit this facility if you ever do get the chance to get to Greater Manchester. I highly recommend it. Now, with our version 2 robot, we are going to be able to 3D print the outer and internal walls of a small house in 48 to 72 hours. We truly can build houses faster, cheaper, safer, better insulated, more eco-friendly, and we will produce little to no waste. So right now, we have been in the phase of building global awareness of our 3D CP technology, and Camhurst has already built great relationships within the construction industry, with high net worth investors, joint venture partners, as well as governments all around the world. And here you can see our Camhurst CEO, Adam Ahmed, pictured with the chairman of the cluster of the African Union. Now, before this meeting even took place, there were 2.5 months of due diligence done on Adam before this meeting was confirmed. But this meeting took place back in October 2024, and it actually resulted in Adam signing an MOU protocol agreement, which not only gives Camhurst direct access to ministers and presidents within Africa, but has also led to robot orders worth billions of dollars. And if you've not already seen these 2 videos, then I highly recommend you going back to who's ever invited you to this presentation this evening to ask for these 2 videos. The first video up the top there is where Adam is in Nigeria, and he's signing the MOU protocol agreement. Now, MOU, for those of you wondering, stands for Memorandum of Understanding. The second clip down here is when Adam was actually invited onto Nigerian mainstream TV to talk about the MOU agreement and what Camhurst Robots has to offer the African nations. So once again, if you haven't seen these videos, then please ask who's ever invited you to tonight's presentation for the links, as they are really well worth checking out. And there are also some amazing videos available of our Chief Technology Officer and Head of R&D, Mr. Ed Rowland, speaking at two events that we held in Cornwall back in January. Again, ask your inviter for these Google Docs because these videos are so worth a watch. You can see the passion and the expertise that Ed holds around this technology and what it can do for those people that are negatively affected by the housing crisis. So on this slide, you can see our confirmed orders so far. Okay, we have 1,800 robot orders and counting at present. We also have orders from places like Germany, Switzerland, Denmark, Brazil, Argentina, Czech Republic, and the USA, along with numerous joint venture development projects, and talks are already well underway with officials and ministers from many African nations in order to build affordable housing, schools, clinics, and we've confirmed orders for 10,000 houses in the Republic of Burkina Faso, 6,000 affordable housing units in Ghana. We have orders in the pipeline from the Central African Republic, from Senegal, from West Africa, plus we have orders for 3.2 million schoolrooms, and this is now just the tip of the iceberg because inquiries are flying in every single day of the week. And this is something also very special, worth talking about. Okay, Camhurst has secured a strategic partnership with a technology partner, which has given Camhurst access to proprietary scanning technology that can scan the ground for resources such as gold, diamonds, any kind of high valuable minerals up to 100,000 feet deep. And that in turn will create a report which is called an NI 43101 report. Now, an NI 43101 report is a bankable asset, okay? And these reports can then be monetized, generating hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars for the landowners and governments, which then positions Camhurst perfectly to agree robot orders and joint venture deals, meaning that we can help the mineral-rich nations to build affordable housing for their populations. And we already have some very interesting deals going through the processes at this moment in time. Now here you can see just a few pictures from our head office, which is in Ashton-under-Lyne in Greater Manchester. Now this was shortly after the building was acquired at the end of last year. You can see in these shots, this is when the decorating had just begun. This actually used to be a Barclays High Street bank. Now, Camhurst 3DCP Limited is a UK registered company, and we now have registered an LLC in Dubai with plans to open an office there later on this year. Now, I'm sure you understand that climate change is at the top of the agenda for many governments around the world. And although we can print houses with traditional Portland cement, it is our goal to use a geopolymer cement when building the houses with our robots. Why? Well, for every 1 ton of Portland cement produced, you're actually producing 850 kilos of CO2, and that's only during the production. When you then take that cement over to build a house, then you're actually producing a further 20 to 30% of CO2. So in effect, you're actually producing more CO2 than you are Portland cement. Okay, so there are many benefits to why we want to use geopolymer cement and why we also want to create our own mixture of cement. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But there's some huge benefits, okay, because with this type of cement, the finished product will be water resistant, fire resistant, as well as anti-allergenic. There are so many benefits to using geopolymer that it's quite astounding. So on this slide, you can see some of our competitors within the 3D CP world right now, although we don't really consider these folks as competitors. These folks are building companies, but right now, the robots that these folks are using have some major limitations, and our strategic advantage is our revolutionary lightweight Camhurst robot. Couple that with our global network of ambassadors, folks like myself, okay, who are all seeing the vision of what this company is trying to do. And we are spreading the word of Camhurst robots around the world because we truly believe that we have a winning solution as we can help to create mass adoption globally for our robots in a very, very short space of time, meaning that we can help Camhurst become that number one in the 3D concrete printing robot manufacturing game. Okay. Now, this is something that I've really taken a lot of time and effort into learning about. Okay, I've watched lots of videos on YouTube from companies like Icon and Cobod. There's lots of stuff out there on YouTube. It's really worth checking these videos out, folks, because it will just help you to understand why our solution, our version 2 robot, is so much better, and so, cost effective, and most importantly, it's fast to set up, meaning that our houses are going to get built way faster. So how do we generate profits? Well, the factory in Staley Bridge is our first production line. Okay, this is where the parts are being delivered as we speak. And then Ed and his team build the robots, and it costs just under $200,000 in order to build each robot. Camhurst then sells each robot for either $250,000 without training or $275,000 with training. Now, as it mentioned in the video back at the beginning, training is for 3 people, and it actually takes around 1 week to complete that training. But that brings in at least $50,000 profit to the company per robot sale. And with around 1,800 orders already, you can do the maths, guys, okay? The profit figures are astounding. Now, we are going to be rapidly expanding operations by opening more production lines, i.e. factories, in order to fill the orders that we've already received, as well as the orders that we are expecting to receive moving into the future. Now, onto our team. Okay, our CEO is Mr. Adam Ahmed. Adam is the founder of Camhurst Ecosystem and the CEO of Camhurst 3DCP Limited. He's held numerous corporate positions over the years in multi-million-dollar companies, and he's considered by many as one of the top global business and development marketing strategists. And with over 20 years experience in sales and marketing and being a global entrepreneur based right here in the UK, he's the perfect person to be leading the way with the Camhurst ecosystem and Camhurst robots. Now, having had the pleasure of meeting Adam on a couple of occasions myself, I can now assure you guys of his true passion for creating change in our world. And next up is our head of R&D and our CTO, Mr. Ed Rowland. Now, Ed's been working in the 3DCP world longer than most. And in 2022, he was actually the man that set up the committee that was responsible for putting the ISO paper together. Now, that is now accepted around the world, meaning that this technology could go into mass production. So Ed primarily works in the factory with his team, and he's a man with so much experience within this 3DCP world. We are very, very lucky to have him on our team. And again, having met Ed in Cornwall myself back in January and seeing him present to those audiences, I can assure you of his absolute expertise and unwavering passion for this technology and what it can do for those people who are negatively affected by the global housing crisis, and especially for those people over on the African continents. So now I want to share 2 new attractive opportunities that have only recently been released by the company. The first is the opportunity to become what we call a Camhurst brand ambassador. And this will allow you to earn 5% of every inquiry that you generate that results in a Camhurst robot sale, or that results in someone becoming a regional or country distributor, or results in someone that you introduce that becomes an investor or shareholder. So let's give you a quick example. If your inquiry were to convert into 10 robot sales with training, you, as the introducer, are actually going to earn $137,500. And this is just one way that you can be involved with the company itself and unlocking even more earning potential. So on to the next one. Okay, this is what we call our business development manager. Now, if you are accepted by the company to become a BDM, you will then unlock the opportunity to earn a further 3% of every inquiry shared with you by the company that results in sales of 3D printing robots. Now, or of establishment of regional or country distributors, or investments leading to shareholder status. So once again, here's another example based on that 10 robot sales with training. If that was actually closed by you as the BDM, then you're going to earn yourself $82,500. Now, just imagine, okay, if you were to get the inquiry and you are a business development manager, both of those rewards would be going into your bag. Not a bad opportunity. That in itself absolutely blows my mind when you consider that you can become a BDM or a Camhurst brand ambassador for free. Okay, just between you and me. Okay, so hopefully that's answered the first question that a lot of people come to us about when we share this presentation. Okay, what is this all about? Camhurst is a limited company, and as you can now see, they have a huge vision to help solve the global housing and homelessness crisis, while at the same time giving our members a huge opportunity to earn some incredible incomes. And if you want some more information, you know, you can always, obviously, first port of call is whoever's invited you to check this out. But we also have a website here, camhurstrobots.com, that you can go and check out for more information. So before I begin the next part, okay, that's going to talk to you about the ecosystem and it's going to talk to you about how we can profit, position ourselves to profit from this incredible venture, I just need to read this disclaimer. So nothing in this presentation constitutes legal advice. The individuals, i.e. myself, appearing in this presentation are not financial advisors and we're not offering financial advice. The information that we are sharing is to create awareness only of the ecosystem and some of the projects within the ecosystem. So always be sure to get back to the person who shared this project with you for more information, and always do your own due diligence. So let's move into how we, the people, can actually profit. Okay, so that's going to help answer the second question that we get a lot, is what's in this for me? So let's dive into it. This is how we, the people, have put together and how everyone on this call can actually benefit from the millions of dollars and 6 years of research and development that's already gone into this project. So what we've done is to create a community-driven solution that we call Property Robots. And this can empower absolutely everybody that links arms with us. This is what gives us our strategic advantage when you compare us to those other robot manufacturers around the world. And I've already explained, you know, our technological advantages for our Camhurst 3D CP robot. Our robots are lightweight, they're cost effective. The majority of these huge robots that are being used out there at the moment by these big manufacturing companies, construction companies, they're big, bulky robots. They cost in excess of $500,750,000 a piece. Okay, this is what gives us our power up. Okay, this is really important to understand. So when you think of how Amazon, for example, has become the biggest retailer in the world, that's all thanks to its 3 million affiliates that spread the word of Amazon. So we have a similar concept here that allows we, the people who understand and see the vision, to come together with our joint solidarity. We can actually help fund robots at whatever level we desire, as well as spread the word of what we have. And that in turn will help Camhurst to fulfill its end goal. They're going to build robots, they're going to sell robots to their customers, and we are then going to help to solve the housing and homelessness crisis. So I showed you some pictures at the beginning of the presentation. That was when the office was being redecorated. Well, this is what the office looks like today. I was here actually back in December for one of the open door events, and I went there in order to build my own belief in this project. Now, these events are being held on a regular basis. So if you do intend to visit, then what you do need to do is you need to email support to make an appointment, or talk to the person that's brought you to tonight's presentation and they can make the appointment on your behalf. So then you yourself can also go up to Ashton-under-Lyne and visit these offices. Now you can see the training area. This is where we can bring our guests along to learn in person from the team about this ground floor project. You can also see our office area. I think Adam Ahmed, our CEO, a lot of the corporate team, they are pretty much spending 24/7 in this office at the moment because things are absolutely going absolutely crazy on their end. And you can also see the gallery area. Now, in that gallery area, you can see the version 2 lightweight aluminium robot frame right there on the screen. Okay, now when I went up there, that was the first thing that I made a beeline for. I wanted to see that frame. I wanted to touch it. I wanted to get an understanding of why this is going to be so revolutionary in comparison to what's out there in the world. And I'm very glad that I took the 6 hours drive north to go and visit this facility myself. Here we have some photos from our 16,000 foot square foot factory. Now the factory is just 5 minutes down the road from the head office. Now bear in mind, this is just the first of our robot manufacturing facilities, and plans are already well underway for more factories to be opened up in strategic locations all around the world as production of our CAM 3D CP robots increases in order to fulfill that demand. And like I said, the chaps that I was speaking to in Jamaica a few days ago, they're very keen to get a factory of their own based right in Jamaica so that they can supply all of the Caribbean islands. So it's just exciting times, guys. Here we have some recent photos from the factory again. These pictures are showing the actual robot parts that are being delivered, as well as our very important concrete mixer pump. Now, when Ed took delivery of this concrete mixer pump, he had a huge smile on his face. He has now confirmed that he plans on having our first version 2 hybrid robot built around the end of this month. And we've got some very exciting news to share with you as well, because we had a great guy that joined the team a few weeks ago who is an expert in materials, in cement, a gentleman that's been working within that niche for the last 40 years. And we've got something really, really exciting to share at the end. So Property Robots is our community, and we have collaborated with Camhurst Robots in order to solve the housing and homelessness crisis. So just to explain this in simple terms, we have Camhurst 3D CP, that is our ecosystem, and the strategy is to develop multiple million and billion-dollar companies. We plan on setting up complete support systems for our robots with geopolymer factories or cement factories, basalt factories, as well as training the future electricians, plumbers and roofers. In fact, all of the trades that are needed in order to complete our houses. Anything to do with the traditional side, there's going to be a full ecosystem in place to support it. So we're not only going to be building houses, we're going to be providing employment as well in lots and lots of countries around the world. So then we have the Camhurst robots, which is the element that will be manufacturing the robots. They'll be then selling the robots. They'll be also securing the joint venture deals. They'll be meeting with government officials, and they'll be working on our behalves, closing those deals with any of the connections that we bring to the table. And let me tell you that the majority of the connections that are coming across Camhurst table are from us, okay, from our ambassador network, us guys here in Property Robots. Then we have Property Robots, which is us, the people. We're the folks that are spreading awareness of this unique project around the world. And we're a completely decentralized community, and that allows us to empower every single member from a position of absolutely free. And when you stay to the end, I will quickly go over that, how that works as a free member. So Property Robots is a dynamic community of people from all walks of life and from all corners of the globe that have created a simple but powerful way to fund this brand new emerging technology, and by working together in order to solve the housing and the homelessness crisis. So by joining Property Robots, you can reap daily rewards as a financial contributor towards robot purchases, and our earnings are generated from each robot sale. Anyone can participate, and everyone can begin to reap the rewards that are available. So let's just give you a very quick example. If 4 people were to join forces in order to buy a $200,000 house, so they each put in $50,000 each, and then they go in, they redecorate that house, they flip it, and then sell that house for a profit, which they can then divide between them. That is completely legal around the world. And it's no different if you have 4 people, 40 people, 1,000 people, or even 10,000 people involved. Now, that, in essence, is what we are doing. Okay, we are a community coming together, liquidating some funds in order to purchase robots being built in order to fulfill, excuse me, the orders coming in now and moving into the future, and then sharing those profits with our property robots community, those of us that are have financially participated in the program. And that is about as simple as it gets. So let's talk about how we make money here at Property Robots, or one of the ways that we make money here at Property Robots. Here you can see our Property Robots plans. Now, you can get started as an active member for as little as $100, right up to $100,000. And we have a couple of different options available on the table right now. Okay, so option one is that you can lock in your funds for 6 months, and at the end of that term, you will double your funds and be ready to withdraw. Or you can go for our flexible option where you can double your funds over 9 months. But with this option, you can actually make withdrawals. And with what many of our members do is actually use their daily rewards to buy additional plans and develop their funding even further, which is a great option because that allows you to compound up to whatever level you desire in order to build up to a regular, reliable passive income. So all in all, a fantastic way to put some of our hard-earned money to work for us. I don't know many banks out there that are going to double your money in 6 or 9 months. It's also important to understand that we are a data-driven business. So we will likely make changes as the project progresses in order to maintain the sustainability of the project, because that's crucially important for every single one of us that are involved. And I also want to tell you that you can get started for free. Okay, as all options to earn rewards are on the table, whether you want to build a community or whether you want to bring in robot sales or introduce investors or joint partners, these options are all on the table, even as a free member. And remember the 2 options I said on the first part, okay? The brand ambassador and the business development manager, okay? Again, as a free member, you can take advantage of those highly rewarding opportunities. Now, we already have some amazing stories from our ambassadors, but this is one I'd always like to share, okay? That African Union deal that we spoke about earlier, where the MOU agreement was signed, that was actually created by one of our free members over in Nigeria. Okay, now this gentleman made that initial connection with the African Union and Adam at the Camhurst head office. Adam jumped on a Zoom with that gentleman, and then after they had completed that due diligence, Adam flew down to Nigeria in order to create that relationship, that partnership, and then sign that MOU agreement. And that deal alone, like I mentioned, has resulted in hundreds of robot sales, which means that a 6-figure reward will be going to that one gentleman as those robot orders are fulfilled. Now, that in itself is a great example of what can be achieved when you have a crystal clear vision with what Camhurst Robots is trying to achieve. Now, here you can see what our member dashboard looks like. Okay, this is where you will find your personal referral link, which you can share with like-minded people anywhere in the world in order to build your own community. You can also see the values in your main wallet. You can see what you're generating in daily rewards from your property robot plan volume. And if you do choose to build with us, you can also see your team volume and your ambassadors numbers growing. And remember, the vast majority of the investors, the joint venture partnerships, you know, the robot sales, the robot orders, the majority of these are being introduced to Camhurst by us, okay, the Property Robots Network. And this is, like I said earlier, how we are going to capitalize on the global 3D CP market, 3D CP market very, very quickly, giving us that unique opportunity to become the biggest supplier of robots in the world. So to get on board with us, folks, it's a very, very simple process. You simply ask for your invitor's referral link. You fill out this very simple form, which only takes, a couple of minutes. And remember, you can start as a free member, or if you see the vision and you like what you've heard tonight, you can go straight in and purchase your first property robots plan, and then begin building your business, whether that's bringing other like-minded people to these presentations or introducing those investors or joint venture partners. We literally have something to suit everybody's appetite here at Property Robots. So look, in essence, it really doesn't matter who you are, what you do for a living, race, religion, none of that matters here. Okay, we are a community and we hold the power and have the ability to change not only our own realities, but to have a major impact in this world by working together in order to solve the housing and homelessness crisis. So my only question for you all this evening is, can you see the vision? Okay, remember, this may well be your first exposure to this information. So please don't make any rash decisions right here, right now. Do some research, okay? Check out some YouTube videos for 3D CP concrete printing. That's what I did, okay, in order to see for myself that whether this was even a thing. And remember, the limitations of the robots that are currently out there being used by those huge building construction companies, and then compare them to what Ed Rowland, our CTO, and his team have put together for the Camhurst 3D CP robot. We really do have a unique situation here. We have a fantastic team of highly motivated individuals and a community that is already growing very rapidly around the world, a community that supports one another every single day of the week in our various messenger groups. We have Facebook support groups, WhatsApp chats. We support one another because we're all on this journey together. So I just want to show you quickly how, even as a free member, okay, you can make 8% on everyone you personally introduce to this project. Okay, so for an example, everyone you introduce that goes and purchases a plan, even if you haven't purchased the plan on your status level 1, you will actually earn 8% on the value of the packs that anyone that you introduce purchases. But also remember, all of the other options are on the table as well. Okay, so those joint venture partners, those investors, the list goes on and on and on. But as soon as you decide to buy a plan with at least $100 and you achieve the volume qualifications, then you start opening up level 2, 3, 4, and beyond. Okay, so you can see the numbers on here, very achievable. I'm fast winging my way to status level 4, so hopefully that will be happening in the next few days. And I've only been involved with this really seriously since probably the middle of December, okay? But I'm loving this journey. I'm not going to go into more detail than that, as I want to try and keep this as simple for you all to understand as possible. So I'm almost done for tonight, but I do know that we have our CEO coming onto the call to share some very important updates. So Adam, calling Adam, are you out there?
Yes, John,
there he is, there he is.
very good presentation. It's always exciting to listen to you explain how exciting and how amazing this project is. And this project has already started to change the lives of so many people around the world. And this is just the humble beginnings. And we have a fantastic team here. We've got, obviously, in the corporate team, we have Ed Rowland, who is doing a fantastic job, in the technology side, in the robots, and the cement and everything else. And then we've got, myself, who's obviously on the small sales and marketing side. We have a number of other people who are part of the corporate team. We've got Sam Malik, who's head of strategic partnerships, Sakib, who's deals with communications, and we're growing. We're going to be obviously headhunting more and more people to be part of this, and we're excited. And anybody who brings something to the table where it could benefit the project and the community, we're delighted to talk to them. And we have many people who've applied to become business development managers, and we are going through those CVs. And those who've applied, please remember, we are very selective who we take on board as business development managers. Anybody can become a brand ambassador, anybody can become a community partner, but the business development managers, we are very selective. So if you haven't heard back from us for the BDM position, please email me directly at adam@camhurst.com. And because my colleague who was dealing with this, unfortunately, had a few personal problems and was unable to be able to get through all of the people that have obviously reached out to us in interest in becoming a BDM. So yesterday was a very exciting day. You know, we've got a great team at the factory, but you know, Ed, who I often describe as a person who's a game changer, you know, the way he thinks and the way he tries to look at ways of bringing this solution to the world. And, you know, this is like going back, you know, as Ed describes it sometimes, we are the Henry Ford of the car industry. So we're basically the Henry Ford of the 3D CP industry. So just like when Henry Ford was deciding to build cars because he realized only the very rich could afford them. And there was only 5,000 cars. And when Henry Ford made it affordable and scalable, he then went on to building over a short period of time over 20 million cars. And that's what we're trying to do, both myself and Ed, is making 3D CP something that goes mainstream. Most construction companies should be using our robots. Most construction companies can save time where a small house can take many months to build. A robot can build a small house in 48 to 72 hours. Now, yesterday, the mixture that Ed made and because we are doing our final phase of cement test, we'll always be doing cement test, we'll always be improving things because R&D is an ongoing thing. But I just want to share with everybody today the tests that we did yesterday. It was a fantastic result. We had our Latin American leaders here who were there to witness this firsthand at the factory. Ali and Joanne was here. So I'm just going to play a small part of this video for people because this is the moment, you know, we take this project to construction companies around the world because we are going to be booking in. I personally have some housing ministers, some investors and robot buyers ready to come in. We were waiting so that our own formula of cement that Ed and the team have been working on, we could get that to a level where we were happy with it. And so let me play this video because this was the test yesterday. You know, we've been doing tests daily, but this test, the one in red, you can see shows how well this robot works. This test shows exactly that we are producing, you know, for printing walls, which is as good as any other company, if not better than most of our competitors. You can see here the Camhurst robot is printing the first layer, and whatever you program into the CAD program, that's what it will print. So in this test, we're printing this test wall, and we're excited. You'll see as more and more layers go on that the quality of the print is very, very good. So, you know, this is going to bring a revolution to the construction space. This is going to literally make Camhurst one of the largest companies in the world, not just a technology company, but definitely one of the largest, you know, over a short period of time, I would say, we could quite easily become the largest supplier of 3D concrete printing robots in the world. So here you can see, this is the video of the live demonstration we were doing for our Latin American leaders yesterday, which was being live stream through a Zoom to many of our amazing leaders yesterday in Latin America. So you can see here, there is doing an amazing job. This is just the second layer going on now. And this is what we've been waiting for so that we can then invite the millionaires, invite the billionaires, invite the investors, invite housing ministers, invite all those people that have placed orders but wanted to see the robot working, printing the wall. So this is very, very exciting. Look at the finish on that concrete. I mean, Ed mixed this concrete yesterday, and I say did an absolutely amazing job in the mixture, and everybody can see the robot here in this video working, and demonstrating that it can print a wall with the Camhurst cement. This is what we're going to be launching as well, not just selling robots around the world. We will be supplying the formula for the robot. So this, as you can see, is going on to the third layer. And we have some pictures which show this particular test close up. And, it was an amazing, amazing test that just shows that we're getting closer and closer to bringing in these investors and robot buyers to the Camhurst factory in Greater Manchester. So this in itself is a milestone. I mean, we've achieved a number of milestones, and this is just another one. And we're just starting off. And those who are watching this presentation for the first time, you need to become early adopters in this project, like I said, which is going to go on. We're becoming one of the largest companies in the world, and we're going to be supplying robots all over the world. We already have over 1,800 robot orders stroke commitments, and this is just the beginning. We have people who want to come from Colombia and who are interested in buying 1,000 robots, and this is what's happening. We have a meeting that will be happening very soon where I will be flying and meeting someone very high up in the government in Germany. We also have a meeting that will soon take place where I will be going to fly to Central African Republic. This was only few days ago. Our head of business development, there's Ed, you can see there watching carefully. So you can see that we're growing rapidly. And the Nigeria MOU that we signed, 1,000 orders for robots, which were the initial purchase that the Nigerian organization ordered from us when I was there. I was on national TV last October. They want to come down. The housing minister of Nigeria wants to come down. We have the housing minister of a number of other countries want to come down. So this is exciting. This is, you're coming in right at the beginning of the next big technology company. And all I can say to you, look at the finish of this. I mean, Ed and the team have done a fantastic job. Look at the close-up. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, if you look at the inside, look at the finish of that, test wall, mini test wall that we're doing here. So those who are watching this for the first time, this is the time to become an early adopter. This is the time to reach out and make money from selling robots, from getting country distributors, from bringing investors to the table. This is the time when you can make a difference not only to your life, but the lives of millions of people around the world. I'm just going to see if Ed is still here, because Ed, was in the office. I'm just going to go see if he's here. It'd be great to get a few words from him as well. Bear with me.
Super exciting.
He is. Wonderful. Here we go.
Super exciting.
I'm going to let Ed explain, how more about the test yesterday. Here you go, Ed.
Hey Ed, how you doing?
You're back.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing?
Over
Hi,
to you,
everybody.
buddy. How did it all go yesterday?
Sorry, I'm doing advertising for somebody here. Um, oh, it was incredible. I don't know when I went in, well, it was Saba was doing Ramadan, so we were actually waiting for him, and then he couldn't come back, so I said I gotta do a mix really quick. So I just out of my head did one of the mixes that I'd done before, um, which I knew was really good. And I mean, as soon as I started putting the stuff into there, I thought this is going to be absolutely amazing. And this is really no crap. I mean, I just had this feeling. And then I put some red paint in there to make it really kind of pop, and look really cool. And then in the first 10 seconds whether it's going to be good or not if you've been doing this a lot. And in the first 10 seconds, we were all freaking out. I said, this is absolutely perfect. The robot was set up perfect. The mixture was perfect. And I mean, you can see even today, every single layer is exactly the same width. It's exactly the way it should be. And I had a couple people who I had sent videos and say, watch this thing from Icon with them printing. And then they had watched that before. And then they said, that your print is actually better than the Icon print. And I said, yeah. And that's even $1.2 billion is not going to make you print better. And we were absolutely blown away because, I mean, we've been working on a lot of different stuff. We've got like, I don't know, somewhere between 50 and 60 different mixtures we've done. And we really got it nailed really, really down now. And it was a really, really good time because it was last minute. Let's do this really quick in a live video to hundreds of people. And they were all sweating and everything. And I was like, yeah, ain't nothing to worry about here. And when they were like freaking out, because I was just putting this stuff in and they were all freaking out. And then when it started printing, then they all were like, whoa, okay, this is really, really, really impressive.
Well, listen,
Yeah, but I
man,
mean, it's a miniature thing that we did there, but I mean, basically what we printed yesterday is a wall. That is exactly the width and exactly the way a wall would be printed. It's only 62 inches. It's a 62-inch wall. But if we were to print a house, it would be the exact same width. It would be exactly what we printed yesterday. There would be no difference between that and what we're printing for a house. Yeah.
It's been awesome, man. I mean, I think the proof of concept now, it's really starting to hit home with so many of our members now. A lot of us have been waiting and waiting to see this day. I think, as Steve said in the chat, I think the 25th of March 2024 is going to go down in the history books for Camhurst. The first time that we actually saw the robot actually doing its thing and doing what we've been promised it's going to do for so many months now. So huge.
I mean, just to give you an idea, and this is a little bit of into my head and the way I feel sometimes, when you're doing this stuff, you realize that what you're doing is, changing a complete industry, changing the world and everything. And when I was finished, I called my girlfriend and I said, please do me a favor. Tell me I am not a god. Because I just have this feeling that I am. I really did. And I said, you saw the video? And she said, yep. And I said, whoa. I mean, it's just this incredible feeling, that you know what you're doing, you know what this is going to do, you know what impact this is going to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I know how passionate you are about this, Ed. I've seen you do your thing in Cornwall, mate, and I know that this means so much to you. We won't ask you that vital question because we don't want to see you breaking down in tears again.
No. But I mean, I really bring it back. I know we're not Apple. I know I'm not Steve Jobs, and Adam's not Steve Jobs. But I really bring it down to when Steve Jobs met the president of Pepsi Cola and said, "Come work for me," and the guy said, "Are you crazy? I'm the president of one of the largest companies in the world." And Steve Jobs said to him, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life? You don't want to change the world. And he said, I couldn't sleep. The next day I called Steve Jobs because I knew I had to come in and do this because what if this guy changes the world and I'm not there? And that's the way we really feel because we really are, we're changing the industry for sure. And because of the versatility of the robot and the way it adapts and everything, we're going to change the 3D CP industry too. So we really are changing the world in our small, humble, except for yesterday, we weren't very humble yesterday, humble way.
Well,
Yeah.
look, you've been on this journey a long time, right, Ed? So
Yeah.
you're allowed to indulge yourself when you have a major breakthrough like yesterday.
Um,
Like I said, guys, if you want to put in some congratulations in the chat, I'm sure Ed would be very
Thanks a
appreciative.
lot. Thanks.
But
We were jumping up and down and going freaking out yesterday. We didn't go out and drink champagne or drink anything or whatever, but we were just absolutely freaking out because we knew how significant this was. We
yeah,
knew how
yeah.
big this was. And live on a live video. And I knew it was going to be very, very, very good. And I had the feeling it was going to be perfect. And it was perfect.
I mean,
And even today, you walk in and look at it. It's still
talking.
absolutely as hard as a brick
I
in
can't
one
wait.
day,
I can't wait to
and
come
it's
up and see it.
flat and it's absolutely perfect. It's unbelievable. I'll send some pictures out to you guys
Yeah, please do.
tomorrow of what it looks like now after 2 days because it hasn't done any slump. It hasn't gone down. It is absolutely, if we can print like that on houses, we will be the number one company in the industry because you cannot print any better than that.
No,
There's just no way you can print better than that.
I mean,
It
look,
was absolute.
coming at this back in November from a complete no idea about 3D concrete printing myself. I've watched the Icon videos. I've watched the Cobalt videos. I've spent hours watching these videos and wrapping my head around this and what it means to the construction industry. But understanding that our uniqueness compared to those robots that are out there, and I've got to thank you for that, for really helping me understand that when I came down to Cornwall for those two events. You know, that really helped me to understand the reason why what we've got is so much more special to those
Yeah,
folks. I mean, all credit to them. They're blazing a path.
absolutely. I
And
know them all. I know them
yeah,
all, and they're very good, and they're pioneers, and they're changing the world too. And I cannot say anything bad
yeah,
about them. But they have these huge, huge robots,
yeah.
that you need cranes to put them up, and sometimes you have to cast concrete and wait 28 days and everything. And we're just bringing this to the next level. We're building. They've got this big, what used to be those old telephones with the thing where you're holding up and you were calling, and we got like the iPhone or
That's
the
it.
whatever, the modern mobile phone, it's a completely
Perfect
different
analogy.
world.
Perfect
And
analogy.
yeah, it's a great direction we're going in. We're really, really doing a lot from the technology side. Adam's doing a lot from his side, spreading this all out around the world and everything. And it's incredible. You have to pinch yourself almost daily to realize, you're changing the world. It's an incredible feeling and
I'm actually
responsibility.
shaking, Ed. I'm actually shaking after last night. I've been on a high all day today because, like I said,
Me
we've
too.
been waiting for this for such a long time. The
Yeah.
cement. Tell us a little bit about the cement. Is that our own mixture, our
Yeah.
own proprietary?
Yeah, that's one of the mixtures that I came up with about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Uh,
And that mixture is absolutely perfect to print with. Some of the mixtures that Sabo's got are absolutely perfect to print with. We still have to work on his, but you got to look at it from the standpoint of I've been working on this concrete now for months, and
yeah.
Sabo's been working on this concrete for weeks. So you don't walk in, you can't have the illusion I'm going to walk in and have the perfect mixture on the
Yeah.
first day because that just don't happen.
No, absolutely.
What we've got now is absolutely perfect, but we've got to have, it's not like you've got one mixture and that's it, because you're not going to be able to get the same thing everywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
So we got to have different mixtures for different areas so that people could get it locally, because you can't be shipping 100,000 tons of concrete over large distances. So we've got to have a bunch of different mixtures so that no matter where you're on the planet, you're going to have a mixture that you can print there.
Mhm.
And that's what people need to understand. It's not, oh, we got one mix, well, now we can use this everywhere. No, you can't get it in Brazil or in Africa or in Asia or whatever. So you've got to have a different mixture. So we got to be testing all different things. That's why we've got 50 or 60 different mixtures that we're working with. And we've
Amazing.
perfected quite a few of them. And we're going to be perfecting a lot more. Yeah.
Listen, man. Hats off to you, Ed. I'm coming up as soon as I possibly can. I want to see the factory. I want to see it in action. So I'll be seeing you very soon, buddy. And
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you
But it's a
jumping on the
team
call.
effort. we have a team. We have two new guys that are there working with us, and they're really, really good. And it's a team effort, and you can't do it alone. So when we were doing the video yesterday, I congratulated everybody as well because we all did it together.
Absolutely.
And you can't do it. You can't do it by yourself. I always tell people, I say, if you think Steve Jobs was sitting there building the iPad and the iPhone, he had thousands of people working on this thing. That's the way it's going to be. There's not one. It's not Ed sitting back in his basement doing everything. That's not the way it goes. I do a lot, but you can't do everything. And we're going to eventually have a lot of specialists coming in, very, very specialized people. And we'll end up with huge teams of people. And we're going to all stand up there and take the congratulations because all of us are part of this whole thing. It's not going to be one person because it's not possible for one person to do. Yeah.
We've got a long way to go, but it's going to be one hell of a ride.
I tell you what, as far as being able to print and being able to put out robots, we don't have a long way to go anymore.
Excellent.
We are basically there. We are basically just inches away now. We've got a long way to go when it comes to production, logistics, and all of that. But that's all that's left.
Yeah.
A
huge
everything
hurdle.
else we've tackled.
We've overcome a huge hurdle, and I just want to clap hands for you, Ed,
Thanks
and
a
all your
lot.
team, man, all your team,
and you guys too. Thanks a lot for what you're doing.
Yeah, this is like
because
you say,
with if you're sitting in your basement doing this stuff and there's nobody watching, or in your warehouse and there's nobody watching and there's nobody buying and there's nobody interested, you're playing to nobody. You've got to have an audience. You've got to have people that want this technology. You've got to have people that are pushing this technology everywhere, and without you people, it would not be possible. So, as much as you can applaud me and my people, or Adam and his people, we have to applaud you, because without you, all this would not be possible. Well, listen, so thank you also very, very much. Yeah.
Huge congratulations to you and the team. And we will do our part to bring more people to the table to get this thing rocking and rolling and get it into the places that need it. I've just literally had a notification of some plans sent over from Jamaica just while we've been on the call. So we're going to touch a lot of people's lives. And I really want to thank
you. We are absolutely blown away and motivated after yesterday. Because we knew we could do it, but just to prove it we had literally about 10 minutes to come up with a mixture, to mix it, to put it in the hopper and print. And in those 10 minutes, we threw that in there and had the absolute perfect print. And that is as much pressure as you can possibly get, because you don't go to a house and they say, look, you got to start printing this house in 10 minutes. That's not going to happen. And for us to do that in a 10-minute period of time and come up with the result we do, great team of people.
I don't know if you can see the Q&A, mate, but it's firing up. Everyone's congratulations. Excellent job. Well done. Well done. Congratulations, Ed and the team. Brilliant.
I'll tell the team tomorrow. They'll be very, very pleased. They were blown away today. We were all freaking this morning too. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, you can see the Q&A when you've jumped off, mate, but well done. And I will see you very soon, buddy.
Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you all.
Good to see you. Good to hear from you, Ed. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Exciting times.
There you go. You've heard it from Ed Rowland, our CTO, head of R&D. Absolutely amazing. This is a big milestone because this allows us to deliver robots around the world, and same time allows us to make sure that they have a cement that they can use. So this is a great milestone. Those who are not part of this project need to become part of this. This can be life-changing for you, can be life-changing for anybody you introduce to this project. Both Ed and myself, we're committed to making sure we empower the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, going on to millions of people. This isn't just about technology. This isn't just about making money. When you bring a real solution to the world, money automatically comes. Our focus is on creating the largest company in the world in technology and construction, to create employment, to boost economies, to change lives. And through the community program, we are going to be able to bring prosperity to people who are struggling. And we also going to help those who already got money, make even more money. So this really can, be beneficial to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you're currently doing. There are so many different ways you can be part of this and make money. So I appreciate everybody being on the call today. Thank you for being part of this update. Back to you, John, to close the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Ed. Oh, wow, guys. What do you think to that, hey? What do you think to that? I mean, look, this vision, it's a vision that we are all working hard towards. Those of us that have been to the head office, those that have been to, you know, the event in Cornwall, for example, those that have taken time out to fully understand this vision about what this company is trying to do. You know, we are all very, very excited by the future. So I know I can talk for a lot of the folks that I've introduced. I mean, I know we've got Dan and we've got Ian and we've got Richard and Avril over in Canada. We've got people talking to, you know, ministers in our group. We've got people, you know, just pushing the envelope and going beyond anything they've ever done in the past, because this has become more than just about making a bit of extra money. And that's the bottom line. This has actually become a project that you can truly feel passionate about, that you can get up in the morning and skip into your kitchen knowing that you're going to make a difference in this world moving forwards with the great guys that we have over here at Camhurst. So with that being said, guys, all I need to do now is share my screen. I hope tonight's presentation and the little extra points that we've had with Adam and Ed have really brought this home to you all. Let me just share that screen, make sure that is all optimized, and all it leaves me to say now, you know, this is what you need. Okay, this is what we all need. We are working together as a community to solve the global housing and homelessness crisis, which is affecting many people that we know who can't get on the housing ladder, our children, our children's children, people in, you know, the countries around the world that can't even live, that don't even live in adequate housing. You know, this is so huge. So I encourage you, get back to the person that's invited you to this presentation, or if you're watching this replay, please get back to who's ever shared this recording with you and ask them for their referral link so that you can link arms with us and join our Property Robots program. Okay. And with that being said, I want to hope to say that we will see you very soon inside our community. Be sure to invite your guests onto our daily presentations. Okay, we run them every Monday to Friday. Obviously, we have Easter weekend coming up this weekend as well. So I wish everyone, on behalf of the Property Robots team, on behalf of all our presentation team, I want to wish you all a very happy Easter. And we hope to be seeing you inside the Property Robots community very, very soon. So with that being said, hope you've enjoyed tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next presentation.